Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what we've got today. Masochist, we've done already, and Cyborg, I have not done. Cyborg, so we're gonna play the Cyborg strictly, and this is one that I definitely could lose here, because I'm gonna sell the minigun. And we're going to use only the weapon that we randomly roll. That means that we are going to be in a lot of trouble, depending on what weapon we get, but hopefully we can make it work anyways. Let's roll and see what we've got, and we've got Wrench. Okay, so during the first half of the wave, before our range damage converts to engineering, we're not going to be able to kill anything, because the Wrench is just not going to assist with that. So that's going to be a problem. On the other hand, construct builds are not terrible for that because the base damage is fairly high, so we maybe can make it work. And of course we're going to get a lot of bonus money when we sell this minigun, so I guess we do have that going for us. So we've got the harvesting. I'm going to sell the minigun, so that's 35 materials. Do I buy the coupon? I think I don't. I'm going to buy... because this way I can maybe get like 3 or 4 wrenches, and that would be a really nice start. Just to remind you how Cyborg works, we gain triple ranged damage, and our ranged damage is converted into engineering halfway through the wave. So we're still going to buy ranged damage in order for the second half of the wave to have high engineering so that our turrets can actually clear stuff. But it's very difficult for us to build engineering naturally, so we're going to have to rely on that ranged damage in order to succeed. I'm going to lock this lemonade and roll and lock another wrench, and we're going to see what we can do here. I decided to do this for the Cyborg because Cyborg, if you get to keep the minigun, you're just a minigun build, and a random run with just the minigun is not that exciting at this point, so... I'm very curious if we can make this work. I haven't tried this run before, where you sell the minigun on Cyborg, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to grab the harvesting here, of course, and then we're going to pick up a wrench and roll, and if I'm lucky I can roll into another one. That's perfect, actually. The fact that we got 6 wrenches because we sold the minigun helps a lot, because otherwise we'd be really far behind in terms of just being the Cyborg without our starting weapon. And wrench is a very expensive weapon, so it's often quite difficult to get enough of them in the first few waves. So we're at least managing to use the extra money that we got from having to sell the minigun, which, by the way, pained me significantly to do. It hurt so bad to do that. But at least we're using the extra money well in order to get a head start. Do I grab harvesting, or do I just take 2 armor? I think I'm going to take the level 2 armor upgrade. It's just too good to pass up on, and then we'll roll and pick up some harvesting. I guess if I'd taken the harvesting, we could have hit 21, so maybe I should have just ignored the armor and taken the harvesting instead, but I think this was still correct. We'll grab the coupon and the lemonade, and then I will still buy ranged damage. We're going to get a bunch of engineering, so that will help out a lot. Peaceful Bee, unfortunately, we can't afford to grab because that would reduce my range damage by a ton, so I just don't think that we can afford to do that. The challenge here, of course, is that our turrets are not going to be doing damage in the first half of waves, so we're going to need to have decent defensive stats so that we can survive up to the point where our turrets actually start to do stuff. In the second half of the wave, though, they will be worth a lot. And one thing that is kind of nice about this run is that, in general, the engineering damage for wrenches is actually not that important. The base damage of the turrets is high enough that that's a lot of your wave clear potential, in general, when you're using turret as a weapon, or using wrench as a weapon. I'll take the broken mouth here, of course, and then here I'm going to roll for harvesting if I can find it. Roll again. I think it's worth continuing to roll. Normally on the Cyborg you'd just take the ranged damage here, but I really want to get some harvesting. I keep missing. Do I roll for 7? I kind of think I do. Alright. That was very expensive and we didn't get there. pretty unlikely for that to happen, but I'll just take the armor here, and then here we will pick up the ranged damage. So that definitely set us behind, because I just rolled a bunch and didn't find harvesting, so we were unable to get our harvesting to the level that we wanted. But hopefully this metal detector and the coupon together are enough early game economy, and then I'm going to combine... Oh, actually, so I actually did this wrong. No, we can still recover. So I want to buy the level 1 wrench and lock the level 2 because we're more likely to see another level 1 wrench in the shop. So doing it this way with having the level 2 locked means that we're more likely to have another wrench show up when we do more rerolls. And when we go to wave 5, we're guaranteed to see one weapon. Now that one guaranteed weapon is the wrench that we currently have locked, but there's still a decent chance that a level 1 wrench shows up in the shop for us. So, generally, when you're looking for weapons in the early game, you have a choice between buying a lower level one or a higher level one. You should buy the lower level one. It just makes it more likely that another one shows up. Kind of pushing that curse alien into our turrets. Our turrets now do a decent amount of damage, at least. I definitely need some regeneration. It's going to be really hard for us not to tank hits, but more important than that, we need to get our harvesting online, and we did find 5 harvesting. I'm happy to just grab that. Here, I will go up to 3 incendiary turrets. Typically, you don't want more than like 2 incendiary turrets on the map because the burning damage from them doesn't stack. But incendiary turret has such high base damage, even with low engineering, that it's going to kill stuff even before we hit the halfway mark on the wave and convert our range damage over to engineering. So incendiary turret is pretty good for the cyborg here, I think. I will do a reroll here. I'm hoping to roll into a wrench. Unfortunately, we missed, but we still have 2 good items locked. Very nice for us also that our incendiary turrets spawned spread out. One of them spawned in the lower left corner where it's not going to do that much, but at least this way we aren't duplicating the burning damage from our turrets, so we're getting a lot more clear speed out of them than if they had spawned together. There's definitely some randomness when it comes to the spawn locations of your constructs when you're playing, especially a wrench build, and that can make the difference in runs as to whether you make a lot of money or whether you don't in a given wave. Trying to pick up a bunch of materials here. I passed on the alien tongue. Maybe we should have considered that more carefully because there are a lot of materials on the ground. But I think in general, we're going to prefer to buy baby geckos if we see those, rather than spending a lot of money buying something like an alien tongue. I'm going to take the ranged damage here. It's more efficient to buy than engineering, even at a higher level. And snake is good because it works with our incendiary turrets, so we will buy the snake. I'll buy these 2. Given that it's a free reroll, so we're getting this for 37, and the knockback isn't totally irrelevant, although I have reduced it. But I think I will now buy the alien tongue. I think leaving all that material on the ground is something that we do actually want to avoid. Spicy sauce, this is a way to kill enemies that does not involve having high damage types. We don't need engineering, melee, elemental damage for the spicy sauce to kill stuff, so that could be pretty good. I'm going to grab that. I will lock the dynamite. We have a landmines already, and maybe we'll build more spicy sauce. Scared sausage. We can't build elemental damage ever, so this is always only ever going to be 1. Is it worth it to add 1 to my weapon damage? I think it is. Scared sausage will also increase the burning damage of our incendiary turrets because of how it stacks with items that already inflict burning. Like 90% sure that works with incendiary turret. We'll see how it actually works in practice. But basically, if you have a weapon that has burning already, Scared Sausage just increases the burning amount by 1. So, rather than having a chance to apply the Scared Sausage burning damage. So it works with, like, Flamethrower and stuff. It just increases the burning damage by 1. And I believe that works with Incendiary Turret as well. We're going to buy it and find out. I'd say this isn't going bad. We're still making okay money. I definitely need more in the way of economy, and I badly need some healing or regeneration pretty soon, because we are going to be taking a lot of hits. Do I just grab 10 luck? I think I do. That's fine. And then more ranged damage, or do I roll for regeneration? I could also take speed. Actually, I'm just going to grab 9% speed because I really don't like playing with low speed. We'll take the dynamite, scared sausage, and gecko, and then roll. Pencil. So this is a quarter of an engineering, but that is a decent amount of extra damage. So you can see this went up to 8 times 6 from 8 times 5 when we bought the scared sausage, so it does work. So it improves our incendiary turrets. I think I will take a quarter of an engineering because any engineering we can get before we convert from range damage to engineering is still pretty good. Defective steroids for 2 max HP. Losing attack speed is a real penalty for this character, but 2 max HP for 38 I think is not a bad find either. Here, do I just want to go for all incendiary turrets? Because I could buy this wrench and have 4 incendiary turrets. We have a snake. We have scared sausage boosting its damage. I think we actually do want more level 2 turrets. If they spawn together, that could be a problem, but otherwise, I think we're okay. I'm going to pass on community support. 127 and we lose 2 armor is too big a cost. We'll take compass, though. Alien tongue. I think I will continue to increase my pickup radius. We've got some consumable healing already, so we can get a decent amount of value out of picking up consumables faster with the alien tongue. And we're leaving a lot of materials on the ground. I don't usually love buying items like alien tongue on builds like this that are really stat-starved because they don't increase our combat effectiveness at all. So increasing the AoE of our pickup radius doesn't make us better at fighting. But we are pretty reliant on consumables for our healing right now since we've found no regeneration yet. So increasing our pickup radius helps us be a little better at using those. Okay, we got a crate. Is that our first crate of the run? We haven't seen a loot alien or anything. I think we've gotten a little unlucky in terms of random item drops so far. Yeah, I'll definitely take a weird food. So yeah, our consumable healing is very good, actually. And then here, do I take... This is a little less than 1 engineering. It's 0.75 of an engineering. I think I'm going to reroll and hope that I can find... Yeah, we'll start buying some regeneration. I really need to get that. Spicy sauce I will pick up. And I think the knockback for this build is actually pretty good. So I'm going to buy the boxing glove. Because we are a construct build, our knockback will pull enemies directly away from us. So if I can build quite a bit of knockback, that can keep me alive in the first half of the wave while we wait for the enemies to... while we wait for our range damage to turn into engineering so we can actually start killing stuff. Take the tree. Campfire is such an expensive way to buy regen, and I did just buy knockback. Does that mean I don't want to buy mutation? I think it does. So I'm actually going to roll past all of this stuff. We'll lock the tree, and we'll lock duct tape, and go to the next wave. This is going to be a really interesting run, because I think that the knockback strategy is actually going to be important when we get to later waves. So I'm passing on ranged damage, which is going to decrease our clear speed, because of course it lowers our construct damage in the second phase of the cyborg, but might help keep me alive. And I think that this character, we're obviously not going to have super high damage in the late game. We're a construct build. It's going to be really hard for us to build enough damage that we can actually kill the bosses. Normally on Cyborg, you rely on just killing them with your miniguns or SMGs or whatever you have in the first phase, while you still have really high single target damage from your range damage. But this character, of course, doesn't have that option. So I think what we're going to do is build a lot of knockback to pull enemies away from ourselves, a lot of armor and regeneration, and just kind of run around, and hope that we can make enough money while doing that, that we don't fall too far behind economically. The Dangerous Bunny will help when we get that for free, and here I'm going to grab 8 more harvesting for the same reason. Then I'm going to roll, and we'll take 4 regen to try to stay alive. Duct tape, yes. Tree, yes. Jelly. So 35 for 1 HP, I think we can pass on. Clockwork Wasp is excellent here. I'm very happy to see that. Cauldron for more pickup range. It does increase my damage. And I think we can pass on that, though. The 20% damage doesn't buff our constructs, just our actual attack damage. And while I do want more pickup range, I think we're still going to pass on the Cauldron. Do I want Torture? So Torture can fully solve our healing problems. 5 HP per second is a lot. It's not enough that it will keep us alive all by itself, but it means that we don't have to ever spend money on healing again, because we can't. So I think I will actually buy the Torture here. It turns off all my consumable healing, and it turns off my regeneration, but it gives us 15 HP, solves our healing problem more or less, and now we can dedicate our purchases to helping us clear the waves. We'll take the Beanie here and the Alien Eyes, and Pocket Factory, of course, is excellent. That'll give us a lot more clear speed. Pocket Factory is very synergistic with Cyborg. You can see Torture heals in 5 HP increments. It heals you in a block of 5, which is actually worse than if it healed you 1 HP every fifth of a second. But is enough healing that you can survive even against the more dangerous elites, as long as you aren't taking too many hits. Now pull the enemies over here towards the incendiary turrets and try to kill them. Unfortunately, this tree, I really could use a lumberjack shirt to go with our Pocket Factory. I could also, I now need to build a lot of armor and a lot of dodge, because I've capped my healing effectively with the Torture. The more armor and dodge we have, the better, because the less stressed out that healing is going to be. We'll take landmines here. Great. We just sort of need to reach a certain amount of armor and dodge. Do I actually just go to all incendiary turrets? Because I could combine and buy a cursed wrench here. I could also just go to a level 3 wrench, and then maybe we get a level 4 cursed explosive turret would be really nice. I think I am just going to go to the level 3. That's a lot of damage from the laser turret, and it will scale really well when we convert our ranged damage. We'll take Pocket Factory and Alien Eyes as well, and roll a Sharp Bullet. This, of course, is going to help our constructs out a lot. Medical turret I can't use because we bought the Torture. Take the baby gecko and roll again. Spyglass will not pay for itself at this point, but I think I now do need to start building dodge. Peacock I unfortunately can't grab because we're going into an elite wave, so I could maybe lock it for 2 waves, but I think better is just to ignore it. This is such a weird run. I'm really having fun trying to figure out good strategies for this run, because it's not clear to me that we're making the right decisions at all, of course. But this is such an unusual way to play the game, where we have to sort of build up for the first half of the wave and then wait for our damage to come online in the second half. Lumberjack shirt would be huge for us. That would really make the difference in this run. And normally Torture is an item I avoid very carefully on Abyssal Terrors, because it's just not enough healing to keep up with the wave. But given how little healing we had at the time, and how much this enables us to spend money on other stuff, I think it's a pretty big boost to our potential chance to win. Take the fish hook, of course, and then we will roll here. I keep going like, ooh, regeneration, but of course that doesn't do anything for us. Do I just want harvesting or luck? I think I'm gonna, or 1 engineering. I think I'm gonna roll here, because if I find dodge or armor, I can start building my defensive stats, and we did in fact find dodge. Blindfold I'm also gonna buy because, like I said, I just want to build as much dodge as possible. Let's go to a cursed level 4 wrench. So this way, the explosive turret can probably do quite a lot of wave clear for us. We're going to keep passing on mutation. We will lock treasure map. Small magazine, I will take. The range damage, of course, is very helpful for our constructs. Power generator, I'm going to pass on. I'm just not going to worry about percent damage. Here, we're just going to run away from the elite and hope that we have enough healing with our Torture to stay alive. This elite isn't so bad to just run away from. Got a lucky percent dodge there, which is nice. Going all in on incendiary turrets, actually, I think has worked out fairly well in the early game as well. Because our turret damage is so low, the damage from the rest of our turrets, the incendiary turrets were able to actually clear enemies. So even though we were in the first half of the wave, so even though we were overlapping damage, the incendiary turrets gave us a lot more wave clear than we'd have had just with a bunch of level 1 and level 3 turrets. Because the base damage of the construct is so high, you don't actually need a lot of engineering in order for it to be effective. All right, that was pretty nice. The torture kept us alive very well there, actually. How much do I care about percentage damage at all? Is it worth taking this injection? It probably is. Even a small amount of percentage damage can help us out, and then I'm going to roll here. I could have taken the level 1 armor, but I think we can do better. Rolling again. Take 2 ranged damage. That's perfect. Oh, I totally forgot. I bought the fishhook, instantly forgot that we had fishhook, but am reminded by the fact that we got a small magazine cursed, which is incredible. Again, I think I'm going to keep going all in on incendiary turrets here. We'll take the treasure map. Acid, I'm going to pass on. Max HP isn't actually that useful to us because we're healing capped anyways, so the challenge is going to be to take small enough amounts of damage that we get back to full HP, even though the torture only heals us a certain amount, rather than try to boost our max HP to a really high level. For that reason, I am actually going to take the handcuffs here, though I will try to get a little more max HP before we buy them, but cursed handcuffs for a huge amount of ranged damage is really a big deal for the character. We'll lock this wrench as well, and will I buy tentacle if it gets cursed? Probably not still, so I'm going to reroll here and see if we can lock another item. I'll just buy the helmet rather than try to get fancy and see if we can fishhook it. So this buffing alien definitely needs to go. The lampreys spawning before the halfway mark is pretty dangerous. So I should probably try to avoid killing the blobfish if it's at all feasible until we're closer to halfway through the wave. Because once we're halfway through the wave, our damage is actually excellent. Push the loot alien back into my turrets there. Just make sure it's on fire all the time. Honestly, this is I was expecting this run to be much more brutal. I think the fact that we got wrenches definitely helps. Because I think that this weapon, despite having very low base stats, because we have no engineering in the first half of the wave, we get a lot of value out of it anyways. I'm going to take the Weird Ghost. Yes, we only heal 5 per second, so we could die off the start, but I think it's still worth it. Reinforced Steel is really nice. And a Cursed Helmet as well. 60 HP is probably enough, but I'm going to reroll once. If I find, or maybe twice, if I find a level 3 HP upgrade, I'll grab it. Wow, this is terrible. I guess I'll just take 1 ranged damage. But I'm still going to pick up the handcuffs here. Oh, I did not pay attention to the wave number. So the Weird Ghost, pretty dangerous going into an elite wave. Definitely a mistake there. But on the other hand, we did get a bunch of cursed items to help us out. So maybe we can even kill the elite, given how much... we've got 84 range damage, given how much engineering that's going to be. I'm going to get another level 4 cursed wrench, I think, and then I'll do a quick reroll here. Chain gun, oh man, I really want to take the chain gun, but I'm going to stick strictly, it's so good for Cyborg, of course, but I'm going to stick strictly to the challenge here because this is such a difficult challenge, so I really want to see if we can actually do it. I will lock the ice cube. We have the scared sausage, so enemies are taking elemental damage pretty frequently, so the ice cube will actually go off. It feels so bad to roll past the chain gun, but I think we've got to stick with the challenge. Tardigrade, when you have torture, Tardigrade basically just makes it take longer for the torture to have to kick in, and if we get it cursed, it'll be really nice, so I'll probably buy that as well. All right, so I need to run away because I very foolishly took the Weird Ghost going into an elite wave. This elite, fairly difficult, given that I started at low health, because it's hard not to take damage from the start of this elite. Trying to kill that tree and then run away. Luckily, the 5 HP per second is enough that even if I take a hit from the elite's projectiles, we do heal it back up before the next set of 3 projectiles. And once we get into this stage, the elite is a lot easier. And of course, now our damage is actually online, so we're actually kind of shredding that thing. Wow. Because our engineering is so high now. I don't think we'll quite kill it, but it's getting pretty close. If it comes back over this way, actually, maybe our constructs finish it off before the end of the wave. Come on. Yes! Amazing. All right, well, that was really cool. Yeah, I'll take more range damage. I'll take more range damage and dodge. We have 1%, where the lucky coin, certainly not giving us a lot of luck here, because our crit chance is very low. But this lets me buy crit chance for luck, and of course, just gives us 8 curse, which is really nice as well. Here, I will take 3 ranged damage. Nothing got cursed from the fishhook, unfortunately, but we'll take Ice Cube, Wrench, Lumberjack Shirt. I think I will still buy the tardigrade. Butterfly, Lifesteal, of course, doesn't do anything. 2 curse for 81. I think we'll actually pass on that. I'm going to grab some more move speed just to make it a little easier to dodge. We'll lock another fishhook. Weapons can no longer be upgraded or recycled, but it doesn't really do anything else. The 15 HP we can't use. The 15 damage is kind of irrelevant, so we're going to pass on the knot. We're going to roll here, and we're going to lock these 2 items and see if we can get them cursed. So definitely a slip up there buying the weird ghost, but it actually didn't matter. We not only did we survive, we thrived. We killed the elite. Thanks to the cursed handcuffs just giving us absurdly high damage in the second half of the wave. So now basically I think we're in great shape. I'm going to keep building a little bit of ranged damage, but mostly we just need armor and dodge so that our torture isn't too much of a downside, because right now the main problem that we have with this build is just that our healing is capped, so it's not doing that much healing in and we can definitely still die as a result of that. But the torture, I think, was still very good because it got us to this point without having to spend a bunch of money on healing, so I think it worked out very well. Small fish, I guess I'll take that. It's just going to increase our damage output. Broken mouth, I'll recycle because we're over HP cap anyways. Take 6% dodge. The more dodge we can get, the better. Feather, of course, awesome. Lost Duck, I'll grab. And Fishhook will grab as well. Yeah, I'll take a Cursed Snake. I don't mind capping my move speed at 20. I think that would be fine. But the regen is useless. We only get 2 engineering out of it, so how valuable are the shackles actually? I'll probably buy them if they get cursed. I'll take the dynamite, and then we'll re-roll here. Dangerous Bunny is not that likely to pay for itself, is it? This late in the run as well. So I think we're just going to roll past it and keep rolling one more time. I really want to find stuff that I can lock, but do I just want the lemonade here? Fertilizer is only going to tick 4 times, so there's no point in grabbing it. Do I want to spend 50 on 1 curse? Of course, the lemonade doesn't give us any healing benefits, but it lets me buy 1 curse. I guess I'll spend 50 on a curse there. This has been a surprisingly valid run. I was really expecting this to be much, much more difficult. And I think that we had to make some weird decisions in order to get this far without being in a ton of trouble. So I think I actually feel like I played this one very well, making a lot of the right decisions and focusing on the right things. And that's why we are doing so well. But I was also expecting this run just to be sort of impossible. Selling the minigun for the Cyborg did not seem like a way to win at Brotato. But even without the range damage in the first half of the wave, we're still kind of doing fine. I'm going to recycle community support. I don't want to lose any armor. Going to recycle bone dice, recycle butterfly. None of those do anything. Let's reroll here. I guess I could just take... So if I buy this, that's 28 luck from the 7% crit chance, because we have the lucky coin, the cursed lucky coin. 28 luck is probably good enough to just pick up. And now I can take the cyber ball, and that will help us maybe kill enemies early in the wave as well. Shackles, when it didn't get cursed, I think I'm going to pass on it. 2 engineering for 200 just doesn't seem that valuable. Barnacle, we are likely to level like 2 or 3 times before the end of the run, so Barnacle will probably give us enough stats. It's going to be close, but I think it will usually pay off here. We'll take the Blindfold and Wrench. I am going to buy another level 1 Wrench. Reinforced Steel I'll lock as well. That 10% dodge from the Blindfold, plus the massive amounts of luck it's going to give me from the Lucky Coin, are really nice, so very good find there. I said don't have any XP gain, so the amount of HP we're going to get, or the amount of levels we're going to get for the Blindfold isn't that high. But if we get 2, it will usually be worth it. If we get 3, it will definitely be worth it. So we'll see how many we end up getting. Taking a lot of hits here. Definitely need to find more defensive stats to mitigate that damage, because our Torturer is really struggling to keep up in the healing department at this point. Enemy damage on Abyssal Terrors is just so high. I think our wave clear is actually suffering a bit for having fewer incendiary turrets. I'm going to take the dodge there and the range damage, then I'm going to reroll. I don't really need 12% move speed. I could take 4% dodge, but I'd really rather get a higher level upgrade. This is a huge amount of bonus luck, so let's just grab that. And then, nice, the Reinforced Steel got cursed as well, so we'll take that. We'll take Small Fish. Let me roll here. Buying an incendiary turret is awesome. The Baby Gecko, I don't know that I care that much about the Baby Gecko. Alloy is kind of interesting. I think I would buy it if it got cursed. I'm going to pass on the Gecko and then just roll a couple times and see if we can find good stuff to lock. This Wrench, of course, we're very happy to lock as well. All right, so again, we just run away from the Elite for the first half of the wave. 20% move speed is enough that it should be relatively easy to avoid taking hits. All you have to do is just target, just stay away from the Elite, and just, it's going to place it in an arrangement around you. As you can see, there's a pattern that it places it in around you every time. And so you just change your direction very slightly when the Elite fires that pattern off, and you will always dodge. Staying on the other side of the map from it still, though we don't have enough turrets. All my turrets spawned in one location, so it was not taking damage for a while, but once it walked through that pod of turrets, it died incredibly quickly. Oh, okay, I walked into 2 attacks, so I need to be very careful here. Obviously, I have to remember that we heal very slow, so if I take a bunch of damage, I'm always going to be in danger of dying for a little while after we take damage. Grab the small magazine, of course. Giant Belt, we actually have 27% crit chance, so this could help us kill elites a little bit faster. We can crit them just with our wrenches. And if I find Pile of Books to get critical hits on our constructs, then that will be a big deal as well. Weird Ghost, of course, we don't need. The wrench didn't get cursed, but the alloy did. Let's buy the cursed alloy. Yes, we lose 3 dodge, but all of these other stats are great. And then here, do I just want more explosive turrets? I do have a couple dynamites as well, so let's take the explosive turrets, and I will buy the small fish, and then reroll, lock a feather, because of course that's more dodge, and we'll lock a pumpkin because we have a short bullet, so that will help out with our construct attacks. Going to wave 19. One nice synergy between the Cyborg and Pocket Factory is that Pocket Pocket Factory, of course, gets better as the wave goes on. You kill more trees, and more of them turn into turrets. So Cyborg then gets stronger in the second half of the wave when you've already built up a big bank of turrets from your Pocket Factory. I like how all the enemies that were just chasing us around on the field, we were getting kind of overwhelmed. There were tons of enemies chasing me. Then it ticked over to 30 seconds through the wave, and suddenly they all vanished. Now, we are going to have the challenge in the next wave that it's a longer wave. So the Cyborg doesn't change over to its second form until 45 seconds into the wave. So I have a little longer that I'm going to have to survive and kite the bosses out before we can stay alive. Of course, we're cycling Cute Monkey. It doesn't do anything here. Let me re-roll this. I could take 4 dodge. I'll roll again. Okay, great. 12 dodge. So that's perfect. That gets us up to 46% dodge, and then we get the feather as well. So now we're up to 52 dodge. Pumpkin increases our damage as well. Lens will increase our damage, and we'll keep rolling. Baby Gecko, at this point, not useful. Same with Fishhook. Landmines is good, though. And the focus, increasing our weapon damage just doesn't matter. Our percent damage just doesn't matter. Do I actually... So I could get a cursed level 3 wrench by buying this wrench. I could also just sell the level 1 and get another incendiary turret. I think we actually want more incendiary turrets, so I'm going to take the cursed wrench as a level 2, and this way we're going to have high fire damage on the bosses at all times. We'll take the pencil and then do a reroll here just to see what we could have gotten. Maybe could have gotten the mutation. The knockback thing didn't end up working out, by the way, so I should have just been buying those mutations, and the boxing glove wasn't good. I think that the knockback thing was an interesting idea and maybe could have been a direction we could have gone. But we quickly got the torture, which prevented us from needing to push enemies away from us because we had enough healing. So the knockback ended up not being a valuable direction to go, but... other than that, I think we've made only good decisions this run. Let's see what happens when we fight the bosses. So, wave 20. This is going to be tough. We have to last 45 seconds with no effective healing. So I'm just going to try not to take hits. I will maybe put a couple criticals into the bosses just for extra damage, because we do have the giant belt. Didn't find pile of books, which would have been really nice, of course, with the giant belt. Also, all my incendiary turrets spawned in the same place, which is really not good for me. So, one boss has switched forms, 20 more seconds, and we start doing damage. This is, of course, the downside of incendiary turrets, is that can happen. Okay, I need to be really careful. Took a bunch of hits there. So we have to back off and try to heal. And here we go. We're in form 2. Let's run over here and try to get the bosses on fire from our incendiary turrets. Maybe we're just trying to survive the whole run. I thought they would die a little faster than this, but our turret spawn locations were terrible, which definitely slowed down our clear speed. So it doesn't look like we're quite going to be able to kill them, although one of them might die. The snake boss might die over here. Making sure to whack those trees every time they show up. Oh, are we going to get it? Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Got it right at the end. I think we were on 0 seconds when we killed the boss there. So that was pretty cool. All right, well, that was really fun, actually. I really enjoyed that run. That was such a unique challenge, trying to figure out what to do without the ranged damage component of Cyborg. And I'm really glad that we were able to get a win there. This is definitely one of the characters I've been concerned about, because I had this planned. I knew I was going to sell the minigun and strictly stick to the challenge. I do regret the chain gun that could have been. Would have loved to be able to use the chain gun, but I am very happy that we didn't, because it was so much fun trying to figure out how to navigate this with only wrenches and not being able to use the Cyborg's increased ranged damage at all. Take a look at our items here. So the coupon worked out quite well. 266 saved, obviously. 269 bonuses from the metal detector. 30k damage from the landmines. Not bad, not amazing. The spicy sauce, this didn't end up working out that well. We didn't find any explosion size, which is what you really need to make spicy sauce good, but still was okay. The scared sausage, I think this was fine. It just increased the damage of our incendiary turrets, which helped a lot with our mid-game clear speed. We did do kind of incoherent purchases with the 2 alien tongues and 2 geckos. You usually don't need both of these sets of items, so we probably could have shaved some money there and optimized a little further. Dangerous Bunny was good, but I'm glad I didn't buy the second one. We would not have made the money back on it. I need to get better about not always just auto-buying Dangerous Bunny. I think this is an item I overvalue. Now that rerolls are cheaper, it pays for itself much slower and less frequently overall. The fish hooks didn't end up cursing that much stuff, but we just ended up with 96 curse anyways, so we cursed a lot of things. Treasure map was great as always. Lucky coin gave me a ton of bonus luck, which was fun. And yeah, the torture worked out great. The barnacle, we got 3 level ups, so we ended up with like plus 3% dodge and a few other things from it. So the barnacle worked out. It was close, but I think it ended up being worth it. Silver bullet helped us get those kills. Giant belt wasn't that great because I was too scared to melee the enemies, but I think was still worth picking up. In case we got pile of books, it would have let us kill the bosses really, really fast. All right, my friends, hope you've enjoyed this minigunless cyborg. We are only, I guess we're just the Borg half of the cyborg with turrets only. So as always, of course, if you have enjoyed the run, feel free to hit like and leave a comment. Helps me out a ton with the algorithm. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato random runs. We are getting quite close to completing our win streak. I don't want to jinx it, but this was one of the ones I was worried about. And other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.